Thank you, sir. So, first of all, I would like to start with thanking Mr. Rajiv for extending this opportunity to me. It's a pleasure to be here talking about security in mobile world. I've been representing Juniper, and Juniper, just to start with, its vision is to connect everything, empower everyone. Juniper has got a host of devices that it supports on network infrastructure, starting from routers, core to edge, to branch devices, firewalls, IDPs, and obviously the network access control solutions. I specialize in network access control and SSL VPN solution. Specifically, I've worked in the areas of endpoint integrity. So my talk over here, one of the good things that I see is that each talk that has happened throughout the day is different, and mine is more towards sensitizing the issues that we are now facing because of smartphones. Mobile devices, as we know, they are part of our life. Earlier, like 10, 12 years back, there were devices used for making voice calls, but now they are literally entertainment systems. You would find people playing games, playing music. Sometimes they use it for calling, right? And there have been a bunch of security issues that have come up because of smartphones, which will be covered in this particular presentation. Session agenda will look at some of the mobile trends, which will suggest why this is a growing concern. We'll look at some of the risks that smartphones have posed for consumers, like you and me, who take connections from BSNL, Airtel, so on, and for enterprises like Infosys, Mindtree, and so on. After looking at the risk, we'll go through the security requirements, what we need to focus on, and a little bit talking about the solution, which will be just one slide. There is a graph that I picked up from Wikipedia. This talks about how the mobile population is increasing. Start from 97, the number on the y-axis actually shows the number of people per 100 people who have a mobile device. In the blue line indicates number of people in the developed countries. You can see how it has grown, and now like 97 people out of 100 have a mobile phone. And similarly, you see the same trend in the developing countries. The green one shows data over the world. So you can see that within the last 13 years, number of subscribers who have mobile device, they have grown exponentially over here. We are talking about number of people per 100 people. Just to have an idea of how many people are the subscribers. China Mobile has got 500 million subscribers. There are 50 mobile operators who have 10 million plus subscribers, and 150 who have 1 million plus subscribers. So the base which has mobile device is really, really huge. Gartner report of Q3 2010, it suggests that it's not visible over there, but mobile sales have increased by 35%. At the same time, it also indicates that smartphone sales have increased 96%. We are talking about quarter over quarter. So, mobile sales is increasing, but smartphone sales is increasing at 3 times. And this indicates that smartphones are really getting more and more popular throughout the world. While these mobile devices we buy as consumers, now the expectation is that when I go to my company, now I should be able to access my emails, probably some sensitive data, or any other, let's say, financial, Excel sheet, anything, over an email through my smartphone when I go to work. And this is a macro trend now. We'll look at some of the numbers over here, how this is changing, but the implications of this is that this toy that we were talking about has now become a productive tool. It will have confidential data, maybe tangible, maybe intangible. You don't know, and because you want to bring it at work, it suddenly brings the mobile phone into a completely different area where corporates will think about how secure this particular endpoint, this new type of endpoint is. Up till now, probably IT administrators were worrying about thousands of PCs and laptops, and probably Blackberries, which they were supporting. Now they have to support iPhones, they have to support Androids, and bunch of other smartphones which are coming in. So all the network administrators, they have to worry about all they were worrying up till now. At the same time, all these new breed of smartphones. Let's look at some data in terms of how mobility is growing. Smartphone penetration, right now it is at 9%, it is expected, it is going to go till 20%, rise up till 20% by 2013. Information workers, these are workers like you and me who would be accessing their work data over smartphones. Right now, about 14% of information workers use smartphone to access this data. By 2013, it is expected to reach to 30%. Another data that suggests is that number of smartphones which are being used, out of that, 25% of smartphones are unmanaged. For people who, I believe people would be knowing about managed and unmanaged devices, but managed, just to define it, managed devices are devices which have enforced policies defined by the corporates in terms of hardening them, what all they can have and what privilege they have and what all they can access. Unmanaged devices are really devices which are not managed by IT administrator. So they are definitely vulnerable, and 25% is a huge number. So you can see there is definitely risk that is coming up because of increased proliferation of smartphones and the trend that we've seen. The question really arises, we have to think about smartphones being used, how secure they are. There are threat vectors at device application network level. All these headlines that you see, they are from some of the papers. These headlines came in 2009, which indicate that yes, there is some kind of security concern which is making headlines with smartphones, but it is only now that it is getting exposed. People, some of the researchers and some studies were even done going back to like 2005. One which is close to my heart is study done by John Herring, is CEO of Lookout. He and his team, they did a study to find how vulnerable common smartphones are. This study was conducted in 2005 during the LA Academy Awards function, and they were able to find out that about 100 mobile phones were having Bluetooth enabled and they were vulnerable. And these were all celebrities which are going in the Academy Award functions. You can believe what it means is that, whatever data they had on their mobile phones, it can be anything that could have been easily breached, and we all know, what are the kind of implications. So, even in 2005, long back, like 5-6 years back, it was already proved that, there are security concerns with mobile devices, and since then, people have been working towards finding solutions to all these. I just listed down some of the key malware releases that affect the mobile phones. Couple of them, Skulls. This was very interesting, released in 2004. What it did was that, all the icons that you see on your smartphones, it will hijack your smartphone, convert all these icons into skulls. And the only functionality that you can have on your smartphone then is you can make calls. Other, nothing else will work. It affected a large base. Another one of interest was Red browser. Now this was a browser which you install, but in the background what it will do is it will send premium SMS messages to a service provider. Probably, I believe it was in Russia. But yeah, the reason why I've taken these two is the first instance about with the skulls, it indicates that it can render your mobile device useless. The second example shows that it can have implications in terms of you losing the money, right? So these are two different kind of things that can happen, and there are many more. We go through the whole list. If you look at the trend, the number of unique mobile malware threats, you can see since 2004 to 2009, data shows that it has been increasing with time. We have to. I've kept it very simple. What has fundamentally changed in mobile devices, because of which you see all these trends of increasing malware attacks and so many vulnerabilities being introduced. And the reason is that our smartphones have become computers. They run complete operating system, boast powerful processors, have abundant memory and storage. I'll take a pause and I'll ask if someone knows what is the speed of processor in latest iPhone. Anyone? Right, it's about 1 gigahertz. 1 gigahertz, it has 512 MB memory, it has got 32 GB of storage space. And while I was trying to figure out what are the latest configuration, to my surprise, the latest Symbian, Samsung Galaxy phone, it is having a dual core, 1 giga, each processor of 1 gigahertz. And if you look at this configuration, in 2005 probably these were the high-end PCs that we would buy, right? When we buy these mobile devices nowadays, we don't even ask what the configuration is. Today for PC we are still asking, but for these devices we don't even think, because for us this device is a mobile phone which can be used to browse internet, play music. That is the primary purpose. And this is another thing. Because of which these systems are more vulnerable. We'll look into that aspect later point in time. Another important thing that has happened is, with advent of all these iPhones and Androids, and now these operating systems, they provide platform for application development, so that there are a bunch of people who will write new apps, they will release in the App Store. People will download, and everyone will make money and everyone will have fun. So allows user to install and run advanced applications. And when you install and run advanced application, you make it really simple. You want to do it with the one tap, single tap of your finger. And you say, okay, install, it will install. But what has happened is that it is now allowing hackers to develop malicious applications, and it is making users more vulnerable. With the ease at which you can install these malwares even without recognizing what they are going to do to your device and what risks they are going to pose to you. You just go ahead and install it because you want to play a game. And it's we never even think, and that's generally what is happening. I tried to put the risk that is now coming for all the consumers now face. We have looked at malware, multiple connectivity options. We have GPRS, we have got Bluetooth connectivity. Infrared access. So basically, there are multiple connectivity options, and if these options are not safeguarded, anyone in the vicinity can really connect to your mobile and steal information. Mobile spam. Mobile spam is SMSs calling for any of the advertisement, flooding with emails. All these will become part of mobile spam. Mobile spam is, we need to understand what, the overall, what all comes under its purview. Have you ever thought if someone calls you and asks you, sir, I'm calling from ICICI Bank or for any bank for that matter, you have account with us? And you say, yes. Did you ever authenticate that guy? At least you have lost this information that you have an account with ICICI Bank, probably the first step towards breaching some of the security, right? People further go and, divulge their account information in terms of, okay, this is my account number, this is my date of birth and whatever. But you can see here, there are different ways in which your security can be breached. Probably it is not because of smartphones, it can happen otherwise as well. Phishing we all know. How it becomes more relevant is, typically what I do, if I have to identify whether a website is phishing is, I'll go to the URL, I'll see before clicking, I'll see if the URL is the right URL or not. It's just that on smartphones the screens are so small, browsers don't allow you to view the complete URL. You are more susceptible to, not worry about it and just click it. Lost or stolen device, you can, storage data. If you are able to store like 32 GB of data, you can store any kind of information. You have got your contact list. I don't know how many of us know that we have got a security pin in our mobile devices and we enable it. Very few people would really do that. It is as simple as you forget your mobile in a taxi. The taxi driver just picks it up, figures out all your information. Your banking transaction, you just keep on getting the SMSs. Now, we never think about all these things. So I just want to sensitize in terms of, all these are the ways in which, our data is vulnerable because of the way things have changed in mobile. These were the risks to the consumers, normal users like us. For enterprises, all those risks hold true, but there are other risks as well. Loss and theft, probably, you want to talk about some of their strategies and some of their financial data, which is more, which may cost, thousands or millions of dollars to you. Eavesdropping, any of the communication that is happening, you are connecting to your network. If your communication is not secure, you may lose all the data. Poor governance. This is again another area where enterprises really need to focus on. We have always thought about security in terms of we have always evolved from that perimeterized security. From there, there was a notion of like security from inside. First, you try to plot security from outside. Then you figure out, okay, there can be malicious users inside your network. Try to secure from inside. But with mobile devices, I can take a simple example. Like you don't allow user to work from home because if he works from home and gets some data to his laptop, which is at home, he can always steal it. Now think about a user who is inside the company premise, right? He can get the data on his smartphone and just send it over internet. He has completely bypassed your network security. He's not even going through your access point where your data leakage protection software are going to determine that your data is getting leaked. So it can be so easily bypassed. You really need to think through what the governance should be for mobile devices. Consumer design, there are phones which have been built with security in mind, which were being used for business purposes, but now you see other devices that are coming which are for the consumers. You want the consumers to use them first, and then security is an afterthought where you want, okay, now that employees have bought this device, and generally these are high profile employees, you want them to be supported, and then you think about, okay, how do I secure this? inadequate tools, point to, that there are ways in which enterprises can still secure their smartphones by pushing certain profiles which lock down, their devices, connectivity. They can disable cameras, they can disable Bluetooth connectivity and things like that, but they are not available for all smartphones. Storage capacity, faster wireless, it just allows you more data to be stored, making you more vulnerable, allows more data to be sent quickly, making you more vulnerable. So there was a study that was done by Forrester with healthcare IT leaders. Healthcare is one industry where you generally will have more mobile devices being used by all the doctors, and the regulation in US, they have a HIPAA mandate where they want to make sure that the data is not lost. 86% of the respondents they ranked mobile security as high or critical in their priority list, and 31% also noted that data has been compromised. So, I just want to bring into perspective the industry's view. Industry is taking a note, and mobile security is coming in the top of their priority. At the same time, they have also experienced breaches in their security. I would like to just lay down these security requirements. Again, I just tried to put them under certain heads, and tried to put it in a very simple terms. Platform, we have had talks where we really have discussed in terms of, when you look at the security at different levels, you can go in depth. But for platform security, you require OS security, OS to be modeled in a way that, your applications are isolated so that the data cannot be exchanged. But, again, mobile is such a device where you would want, if you click your photo from your camera, you would want to send it to someone in the contact, right? So you require data sharing as well. How securely different OSs allow you to do this in a secure manner is really defined by a OS security model. Secure booting, how do you ensure that the operating system that is running, you can trust it. There have been talks about trusted computing group. One of the efforts that they are leading is like on the lines of TPM. They are also building MTM, which is mobile trusted module. Software integrity. It is more about integrity of the applications. There are different ways in which companies are doing this. You would have to certify your application, get it signed. Some of the enterprises, they do sign using M2M, mobile to market, third-party vendors, it is outsourced. Other OSs like Android, they allow self-signed applications. But software integrity is again a concern. How do you, for an end user, all these things really don't matter. For a normal consumer, you won't even think about what the integrity of the software is or whether it is signed by a particular authority. They'll just go and install it. Device monitoring and control, application inventory and removal. This is more relevant for enterprises where they can control what all applications can be installed, and if possible, you should be able to remove some of the other applications which are not allowed by company policies. Remote device configuration. If you figure out that there is non-compliance to certain policies, remotely you should be able to make sure that your mobile complies by changing the configuration. Parental control, this is more for consumers. You require content filtering, monitor SMS, MMS, emails. Think about a mother worrying about her girl child. About if I give her a mobile phone, is she safe? I have an interesting video which I plan to play at the end of this presentation, which talks more about this area. But I think for parental control, if you have ability to monitor what is happening on the mobile device of person who you need to monitor, you can have better control over what's going on. Antivirus and spyware. I think the requirements are you need to provide real-time protection over emails or whatever data is coming or different connections. Over there you want to update them, and spam. I'll quickly walk through these. And spam is again a facility where you can block voice or SMS spam. Automatic denial of unknown and unwanted call. Firewalling. You would want to restrict connections based on port IP filtering. You would want to also have URL address filtering for making sure that you are going to the right side. Anti-theft, lost features. You would want to, if in case you lose your mobile, you would want to figure out where your mobile is. If you have ability to remotely lock it or wipe all the content, that is again desired. There should be facility to back up and restore your device. I believe this is the last security requirement, data encryption. Even in case your mobile device is lost and it is not reachable, you don't want to lose your data. Probably you need disk encryption over there to help you out. Any of the data that is going over the air, you need it to be encrypted. The use case generally people will have is, if you are connecting to a company's network, probably create a secure tunnel and then route all your traffic through that tunnel so that it is encrypted over the air. This slide actually talks about the solution. In the solution, there are 4 elements to it. One is the software that runs on the mobile device, which provides the features that we talked about. Then there is this secure SSL VPN gateway, which allows you to create VPN tunnel to your office network, internal network, so that all the data that goes is encrypted. You've got mobile security gateway. Now these gateways really allow you to do things like parental control, device configuration, remote monitoring, and things like that. It gives you the whole data. You can log in and you can monitor each and every device and make sure it is compliant. For parents, they can go and they can literally get a view of what the contents of their children's phone are. And then the end we have got this box really is representing a data center which has all the information that you are going to access. So I quickly run through this whole presentation, and probably I would like to conclude that mobile devices and smartphones, their penetration is increasing. Of both the consumers and enterprises are at risk, and there are different solutions available. Probably both the consumers as well as enterprises, they really need to understand the kind of risk that they face. There is a lot of requirement in terms of defining your policies so that your secrets are really confidential and remain with you. All that it takes to leak a big secret is a GPS connection, a smartphone and a GPS connection. I have got some interesting videos that kind of help us understand this from someone has done a good job of creating an advertisement. How do you create?
To me, it's not a phone. It's my computer, it's my email, it's my contacts, my calendar, my company intranet, it's my mobile office. That's how I do my work. Without it, I'm lost. Worst day of my career, January 23rd, 2010. I'm in Tulsa, snowstorm, jet lag, delays. I go to make a call, my phone is gone. I had everything on there. I had spreadsheets, I had sales projections, my entire sales Rolodex. I had marketing information, I had new products on there, everything. So we go to a 3-month panic, sweating that that information is not lifted from that phone. I almost lost my job. That information is out there somewhere. Someone's got it, just not me. This is my new phone. I still use it for everything. I'm not going to stop using it. The question is, how am I going to protect it?
Another video actually talks about a mother worrying about her daughter.
I remember her asking and asking for a phone a year ago. Her girlfriends Shaylin and Kate had them. So I thought, okay, it can't be that bad. We can keep tabs on it. She can use the phone to call me if she needs to. So we made the rules. She doesn't like the rules, but that's the deal. There's one thing when phones were just phones, but now you've got the web out there, you've got texting, the camera. It just all makes me think she's just out there. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know who's calling her, who's texting her, who's sending pics. I don't even know who has access to her. I got her the phone to help keep her safe. And I don't know if she's safe on it.
There's the third scenario where an office girl...
Yeah, I'll see you in a little.